Hello everyone, this is Enzo Eigen of the Alliance for Loki, and this is my final installment of the September spending video series. So this is week 4, and finally we have the answer definitively to the question, how much do I spend in the game in 1 month? Or at least the 1 month of September of 2021. And so just to get right to the answer, you can see it's 1,995 US dollars. When people on stream often ask me how much do you spend a month, I usually say I estimate about 2,000, and my estimation is pretty close. And so that's not surprising to me. I think a lot of people are sometimes worried or apprehensive to track their spending because they're like, whoa, I don't know how much I spend on this game, or I spend too much. And so it was actually a really interesting exercise to track it and see what actually happens, and how much do I really actually spend as opposed to just sort of guessing at it. The second thing I want to look at is what do I get for spending that? You can see everything I've spent. That's the sort of the raw data here. The biggest thing was the 500 US dollars to get 50 kitty calves. Next after that was almost 200 US dollars because they had that unit store deal where they get all the extra special things from the unit store, along with the units, of course. So what do I get for all of that? Well, this is it right here. So I get about 15% of a tier 6 basic. That's all from the monthly card. I get 6 tier 5 basic, which is a lot. I mean, you could basically take a champion to rank 3 with those 6. I think you need 7, but obviously close. 26 star zones, 26 cav Nexi, 1 6-star crystal, 141 cav crystals, 8 mythic. 4 6-star shards. I mislabeled it. That's actually I had 40,000 6-star shards, but I just converted the 6-star crystals. 52 green boosts. I get so many green boosts for everything. It's sort of strange. Much more than 20% boosts. Tier 2 alpha, just out of control. It's like somehow that resource has become like super plentiful. While tier 4 class catalyst, ironically enough, as a pay-to-play player, I only got 6 of those. It's such an interesting resource. It really ends up being the limiting reagent to a lot of my ranked tips. Do I have the tier 4 CC? It's all for the one I'm most concerned about, ironically enough. Not too many 5-star shards. That's, again, it's 1.8 crystals, so it's about 18,000. I mean, you can see the way for a spender, the game is really skewed towards 6 stars. And then the other one that's pretty interesting is 25,000 units. And a lot of those went to the 15,000 that went to kitty calves. And then about 30% tier 5 CC. I feel like it's a low month for tier 5 CC, to be honest. Usually there's a lot more. So not only these are crystals, or all the resources, but then I also, from the Cavalier crystals and other things, 6-star crystals, I've got champions. And so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 6-stars I pulled, and 3 actually really cool 5-stars, the newest 5-stars. So yeah, it's an interesting thing to look at when you look at what 2,000 US dollars gives you in a month in this game. And I guess when I started thinking about the analysis of this, so we've been having a debate in my stream about how important is spending to make you a good player. And so I basically think there are 2 attributes you have in this game. I think the first attribute is skill, and the second attribute is roster. And so I would say if you take a amazingly skilled person like, say, Buddy Lee, he's always my good example. I mean, he's super skilled, and he spends about 15 US dollars. I mean, if you play long enough, you can have an amazing count, be doing high level content, and just have a very healthy progression in the game. And then sort of on the other side, like if you spend a lot, the other attributes, you end up with a big roster. And what does a big roster do for you? Well, you have lots of options in every quest. You usually have the right champion and the right counter. Great for an alliance. You have lots of prestige. You have a great defense. And so I think roster is pretty important too as well. And so I'd almost say these 2 things are equal. So either one can give you a pretty big boost one way or the other. Like if you're a really skilled player, then you can get a pretty big boost without having to spend a lot, and vice versa. If you're a big spender, then you can get a lot of advantages without having to be particularly skilled. For instance, I can clear Labyrinths of Legends or the Abyss by doing lots of revivings. If I have unlimited resources to revive, eventually I'll get through it. Likewise, if you're really skilled, of course, you'll be able to get through it maybe without the best counters. So I really think those are the 2 big attributes in this game, and so of course each one has a lot of advantages to take part in, and it's sort of nice because you can choose how you want to be in this game. Like, the amazing thing about this game is, if you want to just never spend any money, you can have a great time. I mean, the fact that a 3-star champion really is the same as 6-star, except it's just the numbers that are different, is really intriguing to me because, of course, you always want to chase like the highest level of the game, and I get that, but you can really have as much fun as with 3 stars as you do with 6 stars, because a 3-star Sorcerer Supreme is every way as good as a 6-star, except that she does less of those numbers, and so it is interesting that you can sort of play this game however you want. The last point I'm going to make in this video, just because one of the things I said in the very first spending video was what is it like compared to a free-to-play? How much advantages do I have? And so I sort of think about Brian Grant, as he is the epitome of the free-to-play player. He is, of course, like, YouTuber, and he's very, adamant in his free-to-play style. So I think he says on his streams that he can maybe get about 2,000 to 3,000 units per month from grinding being a free-to-play player. And look at my units, and that's about 25,000 I get in 1 month. And I look at all the 6-star crystals I had. I opened about 12 or 13. And I would say, yeah, he gets about 1 per month from various things in the game. And so I think I would say that from the most extreme YouTuber free-to-play player like Brian Grant compared to Enzo Eigen, one of the biggest spenders in the game, I have about 12 times the advantage with him for my roster. And so, in 1 month I get about what he gets in 1 year. And so maybe a little bit of oversimplification. I'm really sort of mostly basing that on units, but I bet it's fairly accurate. And so yeah, I think you can sort of then interpolate, is that a word? I think so, like what it means to be a spender versus free to play is that, yeah, I mean, of course Brian is the highest level of free to play player, as I'm one of the highest spenders, and there's everything in between. And so yeah, I don't know if there's any huge earth-shattering conclusions in all this, other than it's interesting to look at and think about, and I would like to do some more sort of thought about it. After looking at this and talking to a lot of people who are, I'd say, cheap to play or free to play, I'm sort of intrigued by October, seeing how little I can spend in a month and see what that's like. I'm absolutely sure I can't be free to play, and I already know I can't this month anyway because it's 1 October and I've already bought the 2-week daily card, and so I've already missed out on the free to play. But I might try to be as cheap as possible for me and just see what it looks like and then compare it to this month. So I really hope you enjoyed this series. It was eye-opening, fun, interesting, and it's always cool to see some data, because you hear so much anecdotal in this game, and then to actually see, like, well, what does this mean? I mean, well, here it is. And so hopefully this is enjoyable and interesting to you, and yeah, maybe I'll be back with some October spending videos, and we can see how much I cannot spend and what it's like. So that might be interesting. Hope you enjoyed this series, and I'll see you again very soon in another video. Bye-bye.